Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new edition of Pepito Live. We are in Costa Rica. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the show. Today, a very, very important topic. Recently, there's been a lot of information out there in the media and the social networks about the entire requirements for residency in Costa Rica. Now, in normal times, these are very challenging questions. Now we have a brand new government. We have some changes that were announced by the previous government. Now we have a new government. Now we have some new policies on the table. So really, to be honest, it's a little bit of a nightmare out there. Okay, so one of our objectives on the show is to clarify some of those situations, some of those issues. So what we do on the show is we bring some experts in on different topics to review some of those issues, some of those rumors, break them down or validate them. And so we do that with experts. And today we are talking about residency, and our expert in residency is none other than Marcela Gurdian. Hola Marcela, ¿cómo estás? Y bienvenida a Pepito Live.
Thank you, Pepito, for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to help you.
Marcela, yes, for people who maybe are tuning in for the first time, please give us a little bit of an idea on who is Marcela Gurdian.
Okay, I am an immigration lawyer. I have been doing immigration for over 25 years. I love what I do. I even started working inside immigration because I wanted to know the inside process. I was part of the commission that created the immigration law in Costa Rica. And that's what I do. I love what I do. My parents were foreigners in Costa Rica. They got the citizenship. I was born in Costa Rica, but I really love to help foreigners. It's like, it's something really nice when someone gets the residency in Costa Rica. It's a nice feeling. So I'm really lucky to be able to do what I love.
Absolutely. So therefore, Marcela, in my introduction, I mentioned it's a little bit of a nightmare out there because I'm getting some calls on a daily basis because there's a lot of confusion out there. And I'm sure you're getting a lot of calls also. The previous government had started some reforms, some new laws been adopted. Some of them haven't been completed and blah, blah, blah. So basically what we're going to be doing today in the show, we're going to be going through this entire sort of like context, step by step. We're going to try to do this in an organized way to sort of like simplify everything for everybody. We welcome people to ask questions via the chat section, and we can put the questions there or comments. And so we're going to basically review each type of category available so people can ask for their residency in Costa Rica. And we're going to see if those types of residencies are changing or not, and how are they changing. And then in the latter portion of the show, we're going to talk about caja. And, caja is not a kind of monkey in Costa Rica. It's actually a very important element of residency. It's the Seguro Social, it's the social system in Costa Rica. We're going to talk about that because there's some new fees coming. And when I'm talking that it's a little bit hell out there, excuse the expression, but a lot of it has to do with caja because there's Marcela. Every time I read something, I see something different. I'm all confused. So that's why we invite you to the show.
Yes.
Is that good? So we're going to start reviewing each and every one of the type of residency. And what I'm going to do, Marcela, I'm going to put them on the screen. And we're going to go through them one by one. And you could tell me, okay, Pepito, this is changing or this is an option or whatever. We're going to start with temporary residency for people with fixed income, which we call here in Costa Rica rentistas.
Exactly. Okay. Rentista is the type of residency. You can get this type of residency if you have a monthly income of $2,500 per month. And the income, to prove the income, you need to get a letter from a bank in your country or a CPA letter. CPA is a certified public accountant, and the letter could be either from the bank or from the CPA. and then the letter has to be authenticated with the apostille if it's from US, or by the Costa Rican consulate if it's a Canadian letter. And then immigration will grant the residency because this person has enough money to live in Costa Rica with the family. Family is wife and children under 25 years old. And all of them, they can get residency, but the children, if they are over 18 years old, they will get a special category. And this special category allows them to stay in Costa Rica, but they have to renew the special category every year. And the
Perfect.
residency you can renew every 2 years.
Excellent.
Okay.
So now, Marcela, in the requirements or the criterias for this type of residency, so far so good, no changes. So we're not going to talk about CAHA right now. We're going to do that in the latter part. So there's no changes now being brought forward to this category, right?
No, Pepito. There is a new law that was approved in June 2021.
Yeah.
So this law is reducing the amount of the investment from $200,000 to $150,000, and is giving the investors, renters, and retirees tax benefits in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So, but the renter still has to prove an income of $2,500, or they can do a deposit of $60,000 in a Costa Rican bank.
Yeah.
If they do the deposit in a Costa Rican bank of $60,000, they can also obtain the residency for the whole family.
Okay. So now this is an antistas. Now we're going to go to investors. Investor is the category that, like you mentioned, in the past, to qualify and get residency as an investor, you had to invest $200,000. And when we talk dollars on the show, and in Costa
It's
Rica, actually,
American dollars.
we talk American dollars. Okay. Too bad for the Canadians. Okay, I guess. So tell us a little bit more about this category now, Marcela.
Okay, an investor is a foreigner that is coming to Costa Rica and buys a property. So if the property value is $150,000 minimum, this person will be able to obtain residency as an investor. If they buy a condo, for example, of $100,000, but they have a vehicle of $50,000, they can combine the lot or the condo with the vehicle, and if they add $150,000, they can obtain the residency in Costa Rica. Okay, for the whole, in this case, in this specific type of residency, even if the children is over 18 years old and less than 25, they will also obtain residency, not a permit, but residency. And any type of residency, Pepito, has to be renewed every 2 years. Okay, the temporary residency must be renewed every 2 years, and it's only when you get permanent residency that you will be able to renew every 3 years or every 5 years, depending on the amount of time that you have been a resident in Costa Rica.
Now, Marcela,
So the amount of the investment was reduced from $200,000
yeah,
to $150,000, and it is in application, Pepito. It is in application. I already have clients who got the approval with $150,000 investment.
that's very, very, very good news. Now, I have a question. If I'm coming here in Costa Rica with my common law partner, okay, and I want to apply for investor. Now, because if I'm married as an investor, $150, that will cover my wife if I'm legally married. If I'm coming in with a common law relationship, which a lot of people are, could I have her come in under my residency if I'm in a common law relationship?
Could be possible, Pepito, but it's complicated because you have to go to the family courthouse to prove the common law relation. That's going to take time. So it's easier to get married in paradise. So
Okay.
it's much easier to
Now,
do the
but
marriage in Costa Rica.
yeah, but Marcela, Maybe I don't want to get married in paradise either. I just want to have the common law relationship.
Okay, so if they insist, they will have to prove the common law through the courthouse, a family courthouse. They have to go to a family lawyer to do that. And if they are able to get a resolution saying that they have a common law relation, then they could apply for the residency together. I don't
Okay.
do family law.
Okay. Now I'm coming to Costa Rica. Okay. Because I know like the questions I'm asking are because they're questions I'm hearing in the streets or around, or people write to me because there's a lot of those questions out there. So I'm being a little bit of the devil's advocate. So people are trying to figure out what are the different angles and how to get residency the simplest way, because they feel that things are getting a little bit different and sometimes a little bit more complicated. So if I want to come to Costa Rica with my common law spouse, I'm still in that pattern, and I form a corporation, and I have I have my common law spouse in the corporation. How would that work?
In that case, if you have a business activity in Costa Rica, a real business activity through a Costa Rican corporation, and Pepito has the manager, and your common law has a manager, both of you will be able to obtain residency as legal representative of a Costa Rican corporation, because you are acting as managers in a Costa Rican corporation that has real activity. By real activity, I mean that they have to be registered with all of the entities in Costa Rica. They need to have real economic activity so that we can hire a CPA to prepare the income certification of the company and financial statements of the company. So it cannot be just an empty corporation. The corporation needs to have a real business activity. And has a common law couple, it's possible to obtain residency for both of them.
Okay, so if I'm coming in as a common law couple and I'm buying a hotel and or a little bed and breakfast, it's
Yes, it's possible.
$200,000. Would that work for the couple if we're not married?
Yes, and even if it's not an investment of $200,000, Pepito, you could buy a bed and breakfast for $100,000. But the residency is not has an investor; it has a legal representative of a Costa Rican corporation.
Okay.
Because if you do the residency as an investor, each person has to prove $150,000 investment if they are not married. If they are married, they have to prove only $150,000 investment.
Perfect. Okay, so that was one of the questions I had. So let's go now and see pensionados, temporary
Okay,
residency for retired people.
okay. For retired people, is still the same requirement. If someone has a lifetime pension of 1,000 American dollars per month, they can obtain the residency as a retiree. Uh, the whole family is also the same. The letter to prove the pension must indicate the name of the person, the amount of the pension, and the most important, must indicate that the pension is lifetime. And the letter must be authenticated with the apostille stamp, or must be authenticated by the Costa Rican consulate in Canada.
Okay, or the states.
Or in US with the apostille stamp.
También.
Exactly.
Bueno.
También.
Okay. So right now in this category, Marcela, again, there's no changes.
No, the only change in the new law is uh, reduce the amount of investment from $200,000 to 150, and all the tax benefits that will be applied to investors, retirees, and renters. The tax benefits will be that they can bring two vehicles with no taxes, appliances for the house with no taxes. If they buy a second property in Costa Rica, they will get 20% discount on transfer fees. And if they want to do a business activity, they can bring anything that they need for the business activity. Okay.
Okay.
The confusion regarding this law, Pepito, is that the law reducing the amount of the investment is in application, but we are waiting for a second law to see how the government is going to apply the tax benefits. So this second law is not approved. So that's why if someone applying for the residency right now wants to bring a car with no taxes, they cannot do, because the second law is not approved. But the draft of the law is ready. So that means that hopefully soon we will have this second law approved.
So, because you mentioned, Marcela, you're actually sitting on a commission of immigration lawyers that actually make recommendations directly to the Ministry of Immigration.
Yes, we are making recommendations to the Congress because they prepared this draft,
Okay.
and we already reviewed the draft. We already did some recommendations, and hopefully they will accept all of our recommendations, and hopefully the law will be approved soon. And with this new government, Pepito, we are optimistic about this new government because there are so many changes inside immigration, and they are good changes because the new immigration director is a lawyer and she was practicing immigration law outside, so she knows everything that is happening inside immigration. She has a lot of experience, so we are blessed with this new
Okay.
immigration director.
Okay, so that is a little bit reassuring because
Yes.
there's some people, some expats who are sort of like looking at the political context from the exterior, and they're saying, oh, this guy, this new president, he is an economist. He said he's going to do economic reforms. He's going to clean up the financial house of the government, and therefore he's going to be coming after the expats to pay for this.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
That's not true.
Okay.
Me as a Costa Rican, as an immigration lawyer, I can tell you that that's not true. The
Good.
law to attract investors, retirees, and renters is approved. There is no way that he can cancel the law. It's already approved. And they already have the draft of the second law. That's amazing, because I thought that they were going to take maybe 2 years for the second law, but we already have the draft. Also for digital nomads, we already have the draft. So hopefully during 2022, we will have these laws in applications.
Perfect. So, Marcela, there's a question here from Marcel Cote. Hi to the two of you. Fast question. Do I need to pay Caja monthly fees every month, or only the months I'm in Costa Rica? This is a very, very good question. I know the answer to that. I think Marcel's going to like your answer, Marcela.
Okay, Marcel, if you already have the residency and you are already registered with Caja and you are in Costa Rica only 6 months per year, you only pay 6 months per year to Caja because you are not living here permanently. But if you come to Costa Rica 3 months, okay, you stay 3 months, then you go back to Canada a month, and then you come back, you will have to pay Caja. You need to be out of Costa Rica 3 consecutive months to avoid the payment. So if you are out longer than 3 months, you don't pay Caja. What you need to do to cancel these payments is you have to go to immigration, get migratory movements to prove when you left Costa Rica, when did you come back, and you have to take this document to Caja, and they will cancel the payments when you were out of Costa Rica.
So I'm going to go over this again. For example, because I know a lot of the expats come in, for example, in November, and they are here till April. So I'm here 4 months a year. What you're telling me is I would only pay Caja 4 months a year?
Yes.
Really?
Really?
Well, that is a good news, but that is good, Marcela, because I think a lot of people don't realize that. Because especially now, we're going to be talking a little bit about, well, we're going to be explaining what caja is in 30 seconds. But some people think that, oh, they see that amount they've been quoted on, or the rumors they're hearing, or some of the graphs, even like I'm going to show. So, what this is like one of the graphs that's circulating out there, and people look at all of these numbers and these percentages, and people are freaking out. And
Yes.
uh so that's good for people who are watching, Marcela, who have no idea what this is. Caja is a type of monkey or bird or whatever in Costa Rica. Marcela, what is caja?
CAJA is the Costa Rican medical public system. So, and it's mandatory if you are Costa Rican or if you are a foreigner with residency in Costa Rica, you have to do a monthly payment to CAJA. And this monthly payment goes according to your monthly income. So me, as a lawyer, I have my monthly income and I have to pay according to my income. Foreigners, because let's say a retiree, they give you the residency because you have an income of $1,000. So they will charge according to the $1,000 income. For renters, they will charge according to the $2,500 income. For investors, because they don't have any income in Costa Rica, they are that's why there is a difference in the prices because an investor doesn't have an income. So a retiree used to pay $60-$70 per month to Caja in the past. A renter, because they have an income of $2,500, they used to pay $200 per month to Caja per family. An investor used to pay $80 per month per family to
Okay,
Caja.
Marcelo, I'm going to stop you there just
Uh-huh.
because that's a lot of information right there. So I want to stop it. Whoa. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back. We're going to cover everything that you've said and what they were paying and what the new rates, as you know them right now, are supposed to be nationally. And then I'm going to ask you a question. Okay. I don't know if you're going to like it, but okay, about people pay different prices in the same category from one place to the other in Costa Rica. I want you to comment on that after, but we'll do that after. This is how it is in the books right now. We're going to start with pensioners. How much was it before for pensioners? Could you repeat that? And what will it be?
Okay, in the past it was $60. Now it's 88. Okay, but Pepito, I just want to tell everybody that we are in Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, nothing is black or white. There is a huge gray area, okay? So I don't worry because this is going to change. We already had a meeting with the financial manager in Caja, and we told him that me as an immigration lawyer, I'm really worried about those payments because people, foreigners, will think that we want to take all the money from them, and that's not true. I mean, the increase is not that much, from 60 to 88 dollars, okay, for a retiree. So it's not that much, and it's a payment that will cover the whole family, husband, wife, and children under 25. So
Mhm.
it's not that much, and
So, Marcela, I'm stopping you right there. So, I'm coming here as a pensioner, but if I'm here only 4 months a month, it's only going to cost me four times $88.
exactly. This is something that not everybody knows, but that's the way, I mean, it is a reality. If you are in Costa Rica only 4 months per year, you only pay 4 months of caja. Then you go out and you don't do any payments. When you come back, we can help you to get your migratory movements at immigration. And with this document, we have to go to Caja and tell Caja, okay, I was not here for 7 months. So they will cancel the 7 months because we are showing them that you were out 7 months from out of Costa Rica.
Perfecto. Well, thank you for clarifying that. That's very good information. I like that. Now, the next one, investors. What were we paying before as investors, and what are we going to be paying now?
Okay, investors were paying $80 in the past. Now, starting March, they are paying $140. But what happens in Costa Rica, Pepito, is that you go to San Jose, maybe they will charge $80. You go to Guanacaste, they will charge more. So now, for the caja payments, there is a lot of confusion, and the information is not clear. So I wouldn't be worried about the payments. Only for the renters, I'm worried because it's a lot of money. But for the investors, $140 for the whole family.
Yeah.
Retirees, 120. So it's not that much.
Yeah.
And this can be changed. Hopefully, it's gonna change.
So that's right. So because you're sitting on this commission and you have these dialogues with the authorities, and I guess in the last 3 months there's been all kinds of reaction. Are they aware, Marcela, that some people are worried and upset right now because frankly, Costa Ricans were doing really, really, really good in immigration. But now I'm talking to a lot of people who are saying, like, a lot of this uncertainty, they're saying, well, hang on, we're going to wait a little bit now because we're not sure what's happening with this new president, the confusion, everything. People don't like that.
That's because they don't know what pura vida means. Pura vida means learn to relax. I mean, I'm telling you that this is gonna change, because the increase in those payments is because now Caja is adding like a pension payment for everybody, and that's not fair, because if you are already 50 years, 60 years, how come are you gonna pay for a pension if you will never get it? So that's not fair. So we are trying to reduce this part of the payment, because it's not fair. How come I'm going to pay a pension? I will never get it. So
exactly. So all of this right now, basically, we're giving information as we know it, as you know it firsthand right now. But what we're telling people is, amigos, we may be redoing the show in 3 months from now, with more
exactly. Or
clarification.
maybe in a month, Pepito. Maybe we will have
Even in a
news
month.
very
Yeah,
soon.
exactly.
For
We do have
example, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, we do have a question in French from Valérie David qui dit, OK, qu'est-ce que ça nous donne la caja? Valérie, si vous regardez, si c'est la première fois, nous avons fait la même émission en français il y a 10 jours. Si vous allez sur Pepito Live Costa Rica sur YouTube, donc il y a toutes les mêmes explications en français. So what I'm saying is that basically, if there's some French people watching, we did this show in French a couple of weeks ago. So all of these explanations, what caja means and everything, all these types of residencies is available on our YouTube channel in Pepito Live Costa Rica in French. Sorry to interrupt you, Marcela.
No, it is important to tell everybody that our medical system, Caja, is recognized to be one of the best. In Latin America, it's one of the best medical systems. So we complain, Costa Rican people, we like to complain, but me as a lawyer, I need to admit that it's really a very good system. And they needed to increase the payments, Pepito, because otherwise the system will collapse.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of information in internet, and I don't know why people publish this information about the caja payments. Everybody's scared about the caja payments, and they don't see the importance of the system. You get really good service from caja. I have many clients, American clients, that are really happy with the system because they don't have to pay for medicines. They don't have to pay for surgeries. They get everything for $80 a month, for $100 a month. So it's nothing.
Marcela, honestly, for $80-something, $90, for $100 a month, you cannot buy, health insurance for a family. That's totally, absolutely impossible. That that we understand. I think the point where a lot of the rumors and a lot of the sort of like frustration come and some of the information comes from this fact, from the rentistas, because the rentistas, I think for some reason they decided that that's where there was going to be a more significant change, and
Mhm.
that's what had a lot of people reacting, because now for rentistas, what was it before and what will it be now? And then we'll comment on that.
Okay, the rentistas in the past was only $200 per month because the foreigner was covered only for the health insurance. Now it's almost double, $400, because now they are contributing with a pension. So that's why the payment is double, and they calculate the payment because this type of residency, you are supposed to have an income of $2,500. So it's a high income, and that's why the payment is higher. But I would recommend someone that if they really want to be in Costa Rica, they can apply for another type of residency for now, because I guess the payment will be reduced, but it still will be between 200 and $300. So if you don't want to do this payment, you can apply as a legal representative of a company. You can do a small business activity, or you can buy a house of $150,000, and then you can obtain residency as an investor. Only for now, because we are not so sure when this payment will be reduced. Anyways, processing time of a residency is 1 year. So in this 1 year, so many things could change, because in Costa Rica, everything happens from one day to the other. So you have to adapt. If you want to live longer, you need to learn to relax. In Costa Rica, uh, it's pura vida system.
Yeah, no, but Marcela, I'm being the devil's advocate a little bit today, okay? Because I'm sort of like some of the questions that I'm throwing at you, I know the answer, honestly, but I know because people ask me those questions, and because people are a little bit worried. So I'm trying to tell people, yes, also a little bit pura vida, but for somebody
Be patient.
because there's some people who come in and they're not married, and they're coming in like under that category, and they're seeing that, oh, they're going to need to spend like almost $400 each per month for caja. They're
No,
calculating that's
that's
like,
crazy.
that's
That's
right.
crazy.
So people are going like, "Whoa, what the hell is happening here?" You know? So that's why we're talking about this, and there's a lot of good things, good advice you're giving in the show today. First of all, you only paid the months you're in Costa Rica. Second of all,
Exactly.
I have some friends, here's a good example, who were they were for some reason they didn't have a good lawyer like you, Marcella, okay? They didn't have a good lawyer like you, and they had been paying caja for a number of years now, but they were married, but they were both paying as individuals.
Mhm,
So they went
mhm.
to caja directly, and they went to and they spoke to the people there, and they said, what's happening here? And they said, well, you could pay as a married couple, and then they reduced the rates by half right there, boom.
Exactly. Mhm.
So
You do
that's
only one family payment. I mean,
right.
if you apply as an investor, Pepito, your wife gets the residency. So you are the one that has to be registered with Caja, and you will be registering Caja, and your wife will obtain the family benefit. So that means that she will be covered by your insurance. Also, your children. If you have children, they will be covered under the main applicant.
Yeah,
So
perfect. Now we have Alain Boucher. He says he already has a pension. Can he refuse the payment portion of the caja?
no,
Sorry,
no.
Alain.
That's why, Alan. That's why we are fighting. Because how come are you gonna pay for a pension in Costa Rica if you are already collecting a pension? That's stupid. That makes no sense.
Yeah,
I mean, if they need money, okay, they need money, but that's not the legal way to do it.
exactly.
And regarding rentistas, Pepito, if Caja keeps the payment, nobody will apply for residency as a renter because it's a lot of money. I will never recommend anyone to apply for residency as a renter because it's a lot of money.
There you
But
go.
Costa Rican government, the reason to do this new law is to attract more foreigners to come to Costa Rica.
Yeah, but
So
right now, Marcela, that's not what's happening. They're creating like insecurity.
I know, Pepito. I hope this new president, because he will put everything, he will do everything organized. Because how come they do a law to attract investors, renters, retirees, and then Caja is increasing the payments?
Yeah,
There is no coordination,
exactly.
communication between
There you go.
government authorities.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. Okay, because you know what? We like to tell the truth on this show. Now,
Also,
here's yeah,
so important, Pepito. This new law also says that immigration should give a resolution in a short time to investors, retirees, and rentistas.
uh,
So processing time for a residency is normally 1 year. So they
mhm.
want to reduce the amount of time maybe to 6 months, 5 months. But immigration has the same number of employees and they have thousands of residency applications. So I don't know if that's going to be applied, but me in the commission of lawyers that I'm working with, we are going to push to reduce the time of the answering time from immigration. Okay.
Perfecto. Now we have somebody here says they've been waiting for 2 years.
For investment, is the category that immigration takes longer to give you an answer. Normally, it's 1 year, 1 year and a half, let's say. If it's 2 years, it's maybe because the residency file was not complete, and that's why it's taking longer. But investor is that category that is taking longer at
Mhm.
immigration.
So there's somebody here. I'm going to read it in English. The person says, I'm retired. I live in Canada, in Quebec, and I come and spend 5 months in Costa Rica. Is there any changes for them?
No, if you come only 5 months per year to Costa Rica, you will get a visa to stay only 3 months. So you will have to do a border run, come back, and then you will have another 90 days to stay in Costa Rica. But if
Perfect.
you keep doing that for many years, it's better to apply for residency.
That's right. So basically, donc, Marcella, ce qu'elle dit, c'est que, donc, si vous venez, vous n'avez pas fait une demande de résidence, vous venez pour 5 mois par année, donc, vous allez avoir un visa de touriste de 90 jours, 3 mois. Vous allez devoir sortir du pays, faire un border run, de préférence avec costaud. Ensuite, vous allez avoir un autre 2 mois. Mais si vous faites ça de façon répétitive, année après année, ben là, il va y avoir un drapeau rouge, un red flag, une bandera roja à un moment donné. Puis là, le gouvernement va dire, wow, c'est assez parce que vous devriez, en fait, demander la résidence. Is that a good translation, Marcella?
Exactement.
Exactement.
You have to complete.
Yeah, I'm listening when you're talking. Okay, so when a family gets residency under the investment category, how important is it to have a will in case the main applicant dies? There's a good question.
That to have a will is important for anybody. I mean, if you have properties, bank accounts, vehicles, you need to do a will. Even if you are 30 years old, you need to have a will, because then if someone dies and there is no will, is a situation.
Exactly. Now, Marcella, as a conclusion, because there was also on the table a new law that was pertaining to digital nomads. We were all excited about that about a year ago and stuff. And then it went like, "Blah." Okay. And then now, so what's happening with that exactly?
No, Pepito. As I mentioned before, the digital nomad law was approved, but now we were waiting for a second law to apply the changes. The second law, we already saw the draft. We already did observations to the draft, and is at the Congress. So hopefully during 2022, it's going to be in application. This government is a new government. They want to attract investors, and that's the real situation in Costa Rica, is that we have many digital nomads working in Costa Rica for a few months, and they need a solution. And we are going to give them the solution because we need them to be in Costa Rica. It's financial, it's money in Costa Rica.
Excellent. So we have a comment here. I have just gotten the immigration number. How do we call the immigration number? And we call it not
It's like the residency file number.
expediente.
Expediente, número de expediente.
El número
Exactly.
de expediente number. So don't have to do border runs to stay in Costa Rica. But if I want to drive my car, do I need to do border runs?
And why? Yes, that's correct. This driving law is a stupid law. Actually, we already submitted a project at the Congress. It's already submitted because we want to change this law. So if you are processing your residency, you are allowed to stay in Costa Rica. But if you're driving, you need to go out to renew your visa. That's stupid. So we are asking the Congress to change the law. And if you are processing your residency, you will be able to stay in Costa Rica and drive legally in Costa Rica.
That's
so
good.
It's already done. Hopefully, it's going to be approved in 2022 also.
There you go. There you go. I like to hear that. Marcela, when are you going to run for president?
No, thanks.
Okay, here's another one. Okay, this is Susmit Desai. If pension is $987, what additional process is needed for residency?
Okay. Yes, you are missing the $1,000 amount just for 87 for $13. That's a shame, because we will have to consider another type of residency, maybe investor. I guess you don't want to do any business activity in Costa Rica. I don't know if there is a possibility that maybe in 2023 you're going to get a little bit more money, because the amount is close to the 1,000 American dollars. That's important. Okay, if it's Canadian dollars, nothing to do, because it's really low.
That's right. Okay, so here, perdón, Marcela is correct. It has only been 18 months since our investment category application started. We're near the final stage.
If the file is complete, if all the taxes are paid, you're about to have the residency. It is important, Pepito. Many people are waiting for the residency as an investors, and I tell my clients, keep all the payments up to date. But if the person at immigration is checking your file and they see in the system that they have pending payments at the municipality or tax department, they will give us a resolution. Please proceed with the payments, and that's going to delay the process 7 months. So everybody that is applying for residency as an investor must keep all the payments up to date.
Perfect. Now, Marcela, when we were talking about the reforms a couple of months ago, and there were some new incentives that were announced by the government, and one of the incentives to attract new residents in Costa Rica were benefits for people who wanted to bring in cars. And it was announced that you could bring 2 vehicles. It could have been like 2 cars, 1 car, 1 motorcycle, 1 motorcycle, 1 boat, 1 plane, 2 planes, whatever. What's happening with that? That's the question we have here from Alain Boucher.
The tax benefits will be in application once the second law is approved. So once the second law is approved, the people who apply for the residency after June 2021, they will obtain the benefits. If someone got the residency before, they won't be able to obtain the benefits. We already saw the draft of the law, and it's not retroactive. So only if someone applied for the residency after June 2021, they will obtain the tax benefits.
Okay. So somebody got their residencies 2 years ago, and they want to have a credit on their 2 cars.
No, they cannot. We were waiting, and we talk to people at the Congress, but they don't want to do the law retroactive. They want
Yeah.
new people coming into Costa Rica due to these tax benefits, but the people who are already in Costa Rica won't get the tax
Okay.
benefits.
So here's another question in French. If our two names are on the corporation, I think we've covered that before, but I'm going to ask it again. If our two names are on the corporation, I'm half French, half English, the phrases. If our two names are on the corporation, can we apply as investors?
Yes, but don't be confused. If you are managers in a corporation and you don't have any properties in Costa Rica, but you have a business activity, you can apply for residency as a legal representative of a Costa Rican corporation. For investors, if you have two names in the corporation and you have properties, each one must invest $150,000. $150,000 each person, okay? If you are not legally married. So it's two type of residency. One has an investor with $150,000 investment individually, or $150,000 has a legal marriage, or residency has a legal representative of a Costa Rican corporation, which means you need to have a real business activity in
Yeah.
Costa Rica.
Exactly. Because getting a corporation, now this is very important to sort of like clarify that, because getting a corporation, I mean, you could do a corporation for me, Marcela, in 3 days, right?
Exactly,
But
exactly.
if it's not a real company, I could call it, Bozo Incorporation. But if I don't
Exactly,
have like really a real business with real income that could be validated by a certified accountant, I'm missing the boat.
exactly.
Okay. So, but if I have a corporation, I own a company, I've been established, I have some income, I registered with the Hacienda, which is the Ministry of Finance, I could justify my income. And is there like, here's a good question. Is there like for like Hacienda, do I need to have like if I have a corporation and I do have real economic activity, but I earn like $1,000 a year, Marcela, what will happen?
Okay, that's an important question because in the law does not establish a minimum income for the business. But I mean, if you have a small business activity and it's giving you only $500 per month, they won't give you the residency.
Okay.
At least you have to get, because if they give you the residency as a retiree with an income of $1,000, you need to have $1,000 clean. That's what I tell my clients, because this is a difficult type of category to obtain the residency, because you need to be registered with the tax department, with INS, with Caja, all the payments up to date. You need to provide income certification, financial statements. So it's not, I mean, if you are starting a business activity in Costa Rica, you need to wait at least 6 months to really produce good financial statements.
Okay.
And if you cannot produce good financial statements, I'm going to tell you, do another type of residency.
Okay. Perfect. Marcela, that pretty much covers. I think we've covered a lot. I'm sorry I was hard on you a little bit. I asked some tough questions today.
No. Don't worry, Pepito. I know there are so many rumors, confusion, everybody is afraid, but it's
Yeah.
Costa Rica. I am Costa Rican, so I know how it is. I know how it is. You are almost Costa Rican, Pepito, so you know that in Costa Rica everything changes. So I know that those payments will be reduced.
Okay.
And
Well,
anyways, will be reduced for renters. It is an important payment. For investors and retirees, the payment is nothing. I mean, it's nothing for a whole family. $120 a month, 140. That's not even half of what I pay to Caja. And I have never used Caja in my life.
yeah.
But I
No,
know that other people use Caja. So it's good
yeah.
for our country to
Yeah,
contribute a
no,
little.
I understand that. Now that's why we appreciate you coming on the show. Appreciate your honesty. and telling us the things as they are. When you say it's stupid, something stupid, and you come on the show, I like that because we like. You know what? We're not trying to butter things up about Costa Rica.
No,
I think everybody wants to come to Costa Rica, but when people are worried, they're entitled to be worried also. And right now,
yes,
people are worried.
I do understand. I do understand. If the government does not reduce the payment to renters, this category, nobody will use this category.
Yeah, but nobody will use it. But that's then my personal opinion. I'm not an expert, but I'm think it's gonna have a negative effect on immigration in Costa Rica because that reflects on all of the other things. So they need to understand that.
Exactly.
Will you tell them that from my part? Say Pepito
Yes, of
said
course.
it.
Of
Okay.
course. I know. I mean, we have a special market with the renters, and we are gonna lose it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
it will disappear if Caja does not reduce the payments.
And you know where they're gonna go, Marcela? They're gonna go to Panama.
I'm gonna be a lawyer in Panama.
There you go, Marcela. Thank you for participating on the show. Thank you for participating on the
Okay.
show.
Okay.
Gracias.
Thank you very much, Pepito. Bye bye.
Ciao. Hasta
Take
luego.
care.
Ciao.
Ciao.